Happy Saturday. Okay, let me make sure I am live really quick in the group. I just had some stuff that I wanted to share. Let me just double check. Am I streaming live in the group? Okay, I think I'm live. Hey, Megan. Okay, I think I'm live because okay, so I think I'm live in the group and I'm trying a different plugin. So I just want to make sure it's working before I get started. Am I live on the Facebook page? Okay, cool. I think I'm live. All right, just took a second to show up. I didn't promote this or anything like that because I just have some thoughts that I wanted to share. And this is kind of me taking messy action. I realize that there's still a part of me that falls into trying to make things perfect before I share it. And also, but more to, especially like when I'm teaching or training, I want you to have a, something you can look at instead of just being like, let me get this thought out of my head and then I'm going to go and share it. So, anyways, here's my thoughts. So, this week has been so freaking crazy. It has been like Epiphany City. And I don't know if anybody else has been having epiphanies, but it's been Epiphany City. And Megan, I sent you a DM. I actually want to talk to you about something. So, I have started to kind of speak my mind and share my thoughts. And I think that it's been such a beautiful journey because it started from me just really wanting to get better at storytelling and me wanting to get better at copywriting and taking that journey and doing it and then getting to the place now where it's like I can actually feel like I'm expressing myself in a way that represents what I actually want to say and learning the skills to actually do that. So this week I was having so many epiphanies and basically I was like, why am I not like getting certain results that I'm looking for? And because I'm like, everything else around me kind of seems like it's working and it's like going well, but I'm like, it's like the tiny little results that I'm looking for that are not happening. And I was like, okay, because I kept feeling like something was like wrong. I felt in alignment and I felt like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But there was always like this little thing in the back of my head where I was like, something isn't like all the way there. Okay. And so recently I started to pray to get out of my own way. Almost like, because I felt like at this point, it was something that I was doing that was not causing me to have the success that I need. So, anyways, this week I was able to literally have my mind blown and see all of the things that were so tiny that I was doing that was holding me back. So I wanted to learn a new skill set that I know that would take my business, to the next level. And I also, one thing that I'm trying to do personally is financial literacy. So I really just want to understand money. I want to understand the banking system and, all those different, things that I just really wasn't taught. But I had this attitude that said, I'm going to learn about money when I make more money, basically. And it's so funny because it's like you got to look in the mirror, because I kept getting all of these like watching all these videos that were like, how many people wait to learn the thing to do, like wait till they actually have the thing to learn how to do it. Like that's insanity. Like you actually have to do the thing, and then when you actually do the thing, then you're going to learn it. And so I was like, yeah, duh, totally. Like, and I totally agreed with that. But it was like in the one area that I thought was super important, which was learning financial literacy, I kept telling myself I'm going to wait till later. So I started laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, Terry, like it was so funny because I kept getting so many things being shown to me. And I wasn't really clear that I was like, oh, they're showing this to you because you're contradicting yourself in this way. So that's why I started praying, like how to get out of my own way. So I was laughing because I was like, I'm going to learn about money later. But it's like, no, girl, you need to learn about it now. Right. And then the other things were, I talked about it, last time, just kind of like saying, oh yeah, I want to learn and I'm going to take this course and I'm going to, teach myself this new skill. I was going in it with an attitude of a know-it-all. So even though I set the intention to be a student, my behavior wasn't matching. And then the other thing was that I wasn't being coachable because I wasn't following the instruction. So I would get like the first step of the result and then but not follow through with the instructions on the things like that I didn't think was like the best to do or like were a little too hard to do. So anyways, the whole point of this is that I wanted to talk about the skills to that you can actually do right now to like level up your life. So one of the most powerful things I feel as if everyone should know or do is who they are and their intuition, because that's going to get you so far. Knowing your intuition is like being able to rely on yourself for the answers and being your own navigational compass, right? To find like the path for whatever it is you want to achieve. Knowing your intuition sometimes can mean, hey, you know what? I need to phone a friend. I need to tag a friend. I need to tag an expert. Or you know what? I need to go within and find this answer myself because, some of us do require an external opinion in order to make a decision. Like that, as in that's what we rely on. So there's a difference between relying on that and when your intuition just says, hey, you know what? You're kind of at your knowledge capacity. Like you need to go like tag someone in, right? Or your perspective capacity to tag someone in. So your intuition is going to tell you that and it's going to guide you. How do you actually strengthen your intuition? If you have a challenge or you have a problem or something you're trying to solve, ask for help in your mind. Like say, okay, how, instead of saying, I can't figure this out, I can't do this, say to yourself, how do I figure this out? How do I do this? Right? And maybe take a step away from it because you can't solve a problem from a problem mind. Then really start to pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking and the things that are happening in your life. And when you find the answer, and you have to be intentional about this. So ask yourself, how do I solve this? Take a step away and then, move forward, keep, doing life. When you find the answer and that answer gets triggered and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the answer that I was looking for. Pay attention to that because and then what you do after that is you reflect. Because the reflection, when you find that moment, the reflection will help you go back and see all of the steps, the journey, the signs, the messages, the DMs, the conversations that led you to that epiphany or that answer. And so then what happens are so many benefits. Your intuition gets strengthened because you had clarity from problem to solution and how you guided yourself to that, whatever that was. You were able to reflect and see that journey. Oh, I talked to this person. Oh, I did this research. Do you see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that then you start to be able to trust yourself to help yourself find the answer. And it's such a power. If you ever wanted to learn how to become empowered and to be confident and to have power, it comes from within. It's not if you look better than someone, if you have more money than someone, if your success is more physical than someone and your success people can see. Your true power, what makes you feel confident, comes from within and your ability to trust yourself. Okay. And it's so transformative. It's something that I really honestly I'm still trying to figure out what words to put into it because I was chasing confidence through comparison of other people, right? I needed to like compare myself to make myself feel better when I was like that. But I'm like, I know that's wrong. And I know that doesn't make me confident. And I was like, okay, how do I actually feel confident? And it was trusting myself. Okay. This is just one topic of it. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like self-growth because it's like, you can do it in so many ways. Like if you're having a bad day, like you can, trust yourself to hold space for yourself instead of having to like go to someone else to like solve your problems. Like you can be your own safe space. So anyways, in regards to solving your problems, map that out. Be intentional about asking yourself for the solution. Go just start to move forward and live life. When you find that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, this is the answer, go back and reflect so that you can see the journey. Because in that journey, you're going to see all the touch points where all the answers started to be called towards you in different ways and how you were able to interpret that with your intuition. And each time it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and faster and faster and faster. And then you can start to recognize what your intuition looks like for you. And when that happens, I'm telling you, you become so powerful because you are able to call into you all the things that you want, right? So reflection is the key to moving forward. So I just started with intuition because that's kind of where the foundation of it is. You have to be able to learn to trust yourself. The reflection is a tool that is so powerful. I'm telling you, if you believe in manifestation or mindset or anything like that, and like quantum leaps and things like that, you will be able to quantum leap yourself if you do reflection, because reflection allows you to go back and see your successes and see your wins. It allows you to go back and appreciate the journey, because if you're so focused on the result and the destination, and you're like, if you're so focused on the result and you're doing all these things and you're not getting it, then you start to feel defeated because you're like, oh my gosh, like, why am I not getting this result? Like, it's not happening. So if you go back and you reflect on all the tiny little wins and shifts and things that you've made on the way to getting to your destination, you're not going to focus on the destination because you're going to be so excited about these little wins along the way, that's how you actually start to appreciate the journey. People say, appreciate the journey, appreciate the journey. You're like, I don't know how. Like, how do I actually do that? By reflecting and celebrating on all of those successes and all those wins and your path. Now, that's one way of reflecting towards, celebrating yourself, celebrating yourself, celebrating the success along the journey, celebrating your, results, the tiny results that you're actually making on the way to the big result, right? And shifting your mindset, instead of focusing on the lack of the result you don't have, you're actually like, wow, look at all I've accomplished thus far. Okay. And it could be even tiny things. It could be things that like used to trigger you and you don't respond to them anymore. That's huge. It could be you usually you would maybe have take a disempowered action, and instead you chose a better action. That's huge, right? So a reflection, though, to help you continue to move forward and get unstuck. And that's what I was saying. I kept praying to get out of my own way, because I was like, girl, I'm like, all the things are happening and like God is moving you forward. But I'm like, it's kind of like the big result I'm not getting. And I appreciate the journey and I love the journey, but I just had a feeling that there was something that was missing. Okay. And so then all those epiphanies got dropped onto me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm doing that's blocking me from like actually producing the full result. Right. And what do you do? So what did I do? I reflected, I looked back and I said, okay, what are the things that happened? And I went and I found the mistakes that I did during that time that caused me to be where I'm at today. So that not only did I see the physical mistakes I made, I saw the mindset shift mistakes that I made, right? And this is why even though I'm having fun on the journey, I'm having little wins along the way. These mistakes that I'm making physically and mentally are why I'm not getting the physical result. And so I can look back and I can reflect on my mistakes. Okay. Right. And then what you do after you reflect on your mistakes are identify the things that you can do to change them. Okay. So when I said that I was going into, so first mistake I made, I was like, I'm going to learn about money when I have more money. And that's a mistake, because I'm like, well, that principle just doesn't make sense. So how do I fix that? I need to start reading those financial books now. I need to start learning financial literacy now. If that's a major problem that I want to fix, then I need to do it now, not later. So I'm like, okay, mistake identified, solution applied. Next thing, follow instructions, right? I was following instructions on this course and I was getting massive success. And then the success kind of stopped. And I was like, what's going on? I changed the course. I didn't follow the instructions. So what do I need to do? Go back to that course, revisit those instructions, and also go back to it with wide eyes as if I didn't know it. Don't go back into it with a know-it-all attitude. Go into it with hey, I'm here to learn, I'm here to apply, and I'm here to follow the instructions, even the instructions that are hard. So see your mistakes and apply a solution to them. And when you reflect, I'm telling you, you just have massive, crazy bombs, and write it down or whatever you need to do, because then you can literally see the roadmap. You can see the roadmap of like, holy crap, I see why I did not like get this result, and you can actually also find the result of why you didn't get the result. So I was able to see like this very first thing I did caused me to then do all these other things after it, which is why I didn't get to where I wanted to be. That's why I'm saying reflection is so, so powerful. Now, one of the best ways I say to reflect, there's kind of multiple ways to do it, but just talk it out. I have voice notes, voice memos for days because sometimes when we're writing, it takes a lot to get our thoughts out. Even if we do, like, because I have a journal where I write by hand, I have notes inside of my phone where I text or type because it gets my thoughts out faster. And then I have voice notes where I talk it out. But usually I start with voice notes and then I go to text, like, or typing, and then I go to hand notes because the voice notes are going to allow you to just get everything out. Just talk it out. Just get it out. Just dump all your thoughts. Don't, because writing, texting, you got to like think about if it makes sense. Just get it out. Then step further and text it, type it like in some notes or a digital diary so that you can start to kind of shape and take action from what you just talked out. And then if you want to, you can start to write it by hand so that you can start to identify what it is, the solutions of what it is that you actually need to do to move forward. Reflection is powerful, and this is just one way to use reflection. So that's it for now. Happy Saturday. I just wanted to share this because it's just so powerful. And, like I said the other day, I can't just keep these major epiphanies to myself, even if it doesn't really make sense if I don't plan it out and I just talk it out, whatever. I want to share it because the power that I feel on the inside. And that's what makes life feel so full every day is those inner wins and those really, really, really massive shifts. Okay. And so I'm practicing what I preach. I'm taking messy action. I'm expressing myself. I'm using my voice. I'm sharing, my thoughts in a way that I know will help and empower others. And yes, I'm excited because they're now, and when you actually have clarity on the mistakes that you're doing and how you can actually fix it, like you just get so excited because like now what it is you need to do. And for me, this epiphany that I had was like a massive shift because even though I was moving forward and I was doing all these things, it was kind of like one of the pieces of like a foundation, right? Like one of the legs of a chair that I needed. Like you can kind of wobble a little bit on a chair like that, doesn't have all four legs, right? Just kind of keep your balance, but like you want stability. And so the epiphany I got gave me the stability to understand why I wasn't taking the next leap to the physical next leap of my life. And so I'm hoping that these revelations, these thoughts uninhibited that I share with you guys can definitely help transform you too. So if you have any questions on this, if you want to get on a Zoom chat and talk further on this and just have a conversation, I am down. I'm loving these little thoughts uninhibited series that I'm putting out. I'm going to save this in the guide. And yeah, hopefully this helps you. Happy Saturday. I will be back for more. I have so much more that I want to share. And I'm just keeping it focused and bite-sized. So anyways, till next time, and I will see you guys soon.